Okay, today is the 13th of March 2017, and I'm going to rush through a Celtic Cross. This is because somebody in England wanted a second opinion. She asked the question, who am I as a person? And she asked the same question a couple of years ago and is looking for a new variation, a new version of the answer to the question. And I'm rushing through partly because you might find it a useful approach where you take a Celtic Cross, you come up with or choose just one or two ideas or keywords for each card, and you go through it quickly, and then you go back to the beginning again, and you begin now that you know roughly what the progression is or what the story is for the whole spread, you can then go back to the beginning and you can make more of the cards that come up, and maybe you'll see connections between cards. So I wanted to do this and see what happens. So it's quick, and I'm going to leave out a lot. I may later do a more complete version of this particular layout or this particular spread, but I'm not sure yet. Okay, so the question then is, who am I as a person? And because because that's the question, we may decide or choose that we're not going to be as rigid with the positions as we might be with a normal Celtic Cross. So the third card is the foundation, but we may not use the foundation as something that's just in the past, and that maybe it's about what's now and into the future. So maybe we'll be a little bit loose with past, present, and future because of the question is, who am I as a person? It doesn't seem to require a past, a present, and a future in the same way that how will I do in the new job, right? That you've got what you were like in other jobs, what's going on now, and what the future holds. It's more obviously past, present, and future. Each and the different time periods are shown by different cards in the Celtic Cross. I probably used up half my 5 minutes and I haven't even started yet. Okay, so who am I as a person? The first card was the Lovers reversed. So either you can't make, when I say you, I'm talking to the questioner. So with the Lovers reversed, either you can't make up your mind about things, you're undecided, or maybe because the first card is the atmosphere surrounding the question, maybe you're in a state of mind where you're undecided about what way to go and you need to make some decisions. So the Lovers reversed, you can't make up your mind. The opposing force is a Two of Cups. You can't make up your mind about who to hang around with or who your love interest or love partner will be. Or you can't make up your mind because of the kinds of people you've been involved with. The third card goes down below, and it's the foundation, and it is, I forget, the Two of Batons, right? So the Two of Batons is the fellow who's successful and looking out from the top of the tower into the distance, and the card that's passing away is the Nine of Cups, which is the wish card. But this doesn't mean I think that the wish card upright means your wishes are going to come true. Because it's passing away, I don't think we're going to say that you've had your wishes come true in the past, but it's not going to happen in the future. I think what we do with these two cards is we say the Two of Batons followed by the Nine of Cups. If you have a plan and a goal and you look into the future, then your wishes are going to come true. That's the Two of Batons followed by the Nine of Cups. So it's not like it happened once or it happened in the past, it's not going to happen again. I think that's part of who you are. That if you've got a plan or if you've got a direction to go in, then it's going to work. Whereas if you don't have a direction, it's not going to work. What may come is the Strength card. And this is like, it's promising, and it's a bit like new possibilities and a new level of understanding or a new awareness of what's going on with people and what's going on with life, and you apply knowledge of truth and underlying reality to everyday situations. I've got something half in my mind and I can't remember it. So that's the kind of thing you would come back to, because the strength card looks important, and it looks like the thing that will provide an answer or a solution for the question of what kind of or who am I as a person. But it's what may come, so it's not definite. It's something if you like it, you choose to work on it and to develop understanding. What will come is the Knight of Pentacles. So knights are messengers. So who am I as a person? You are a messenger of what's important. Pentacles is money, but it's also values, right? So the Knight of Pentacles, you're somebody who gives messages and tells people about what's important. The present position is the Ace of Pentacles, so you now are at a new beginning. If Pentacles is money, so if you need income, it's available, or it will be available to you. But Pentacles is also values, so you're at a new cycle, and the beginning of a new cycle of values and a new understanding of what's important and what's of value to you. Because we go through stages in our life, and at a certain point, it's time for a fresh start. So now is a fresh period for you. The Ace of Pentacles. The influence of other people is the Eight of Swords. So I can't think what to say. The Eight of Swords, okay, people are not much help to you right now, and probably for a bit into the future. This can make us think back to strength. So who are you as a person? Either you develop inner strength from the strength card and have a philosophy and have an understanding, or you get chopped up and restrained and tied up by the people that you normally associate with. So it's a bit like you can either be normal and part of the scene and part of the group, in which case you're going to feel hemmed in and tied and restricted, or you do some meditation and poetry represented by the strength card and develop an understanding of how purity, represented by the woman in white, can control anger, and hostility, represented by the lion. So it's a bit like who are you as a person? We might want to say you ought to be the strength card, in spite of the Eight of Swords. The hopes and fears, okay, the hopes and fears card is the Ten of Swords reversed. So maybe we look at it, okay, if it's hopes, because it's the Ten of Swords reversed, let's say it talks about, or it's pointing you to think about your fears. Only because the Ten of Swords seems more like a fear card than a hope card. So with the Ten of Swords reversed in the 9th position, you fear that things are going to come falling apart again, and you're going to be stuck with a mess. The 9th major trump is the Hermit, on the other hand. So maybe what we think, okay, the 9th card is the Hermit, who represents wisdom, and your 9th position is the Ten of Swords reversed. So what you do is you examine ruin and destruction and become wise because of it, or understand what is a wise way to handle upset and disappointment and disillusion and all that's represented, and things going wrong, all that's represented by the Ten of Swords reverse, which takes us back to that Eight of Swords for the influence of other people. And it's a bit like you're going to be dealing with people who are trapped and don't know what to do, and are expecting the worst. And you help them overcome, find solutions, and live better and live more freely. And the last card was the Knight of Swords. And so what you do is, who are you as a person? You are a crusader. You, knowing what's important from the Ace of Pentacles, and knowing and having a philosophy of life from the Strength card, you become a crusader. You show other people, you identify what's wrong, and you cut it out. And you show other people how to identify what's wrong and how to cut it out. So because you live in England, I'm thinking what you do is you become a local councillor or a member of parliament, or you become politically active and get on the local council, or I don't know how things are organized in England anymore, but it's a bit like you become, or you join a charity, and you end up running the charity and dealing with government ministers and the local council to get a fair deal for people who need it. Or maybe you join a school and make sure that the library is stocked and that the children who need help get it. And that's you as a crusader, seeing what's wrong and getting rid of it, chopping it out. And it's based on a wise approach to how do you handle difficulty. Okay, that's it. And my time is up for today anyway. I'll be back tomorrow and we'll do something else. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.